now, so they want to keep that alive, and they've got a great home atmosphere to do it in.
Great crowd on hand here for a noon tip-off between the Gamecocks and the Buccaneers. Our officials today are Joseph Vasily, Felicia Grinter, and Kristen Bell. And the tip is won by Charleston Southern. The Buccaneers at 4-8 overall, averaging 51.6 points per game, shooting 33% from the floor, 26% from three. Turnovers have been an issue this season for Charleston Southern. They try to keep that in check today against South Carolina. Albin, no good, an offensive rebound, and the putback no good for Jones. A third opportunity. The Bucks don't score on that possession. South Carolina averaging 80.4 points per game. Pow feeds Fagan. And it's a turnover for the Gamecocks. They're shooting 47% from the field, 31% from three. The starting lineup for the Charleston Southern Buccaneers: Madison Adamson, Sanaya Jones, Shemai Mohammed, Kaylin Ellis, and Catherine Albin.
A lot of experience on this Bucks team, especially in their starting five.
There's a steal for Sanaya Fagan, and she converts off the glass.
You just hyped her up. It's only fitting that she's able to put up the first points for the Gamecocks. Efficiency comes with those easy buckets as well.
Double-digit points in 4 games this season, including 3 of her last 5 for Fagan.
That was against Duke and TCU, 2 ranked opponents.
And a tie-up on the floor, jump ball, possession arrow in favor of South Carolina. Raven Johnson runs the show for the Gamecocks. Your starting point guard out of Atlanta, Georgia, averaging 2.8 assists per game. Had a season-high 6 assists on Sunday against USF. Kitts fighting for the offensive rebound, and instead it's in the hands of Madison Adamson. Muhammad, an open look. Back iron and a rebound for Bree Hall. Gamecocks look to push. Pow dribble back out. Kitts, she's short, and a rebound for Catherine Albin.
Slow to start for the Gamecocks. That's been kind of a storyline throughout these preseason non-conference games as well, trying to pick up the pace early on.
Ellis has been good for Charleston Southern behind the arc of late. Instead, it's Mohammed for 3. An offensive rebound for Sanaya Jones.
We got a shoe off.
Adamson's baseline jumper, she gets the bounce. So we're tied at 2 early on. South Carolina 10-1 on the season, including 4-0 here at home. And a loss on the road at UCLA. Charleston Southern 2-5 away from the Buck Dome. A whistle and a foul is going to go against CSU, and I believe Catherine Albin.
Great
it is her first.
Great cut from Tahina Pow. It's not just about what she does with the ball, but it's that off-the-ball movement, staying active, cutting to the basket that gets her opportunities to get to the line.
Ellis, Albin, Jones all checking out for CSU. Pow hits the first. Tina had 10 points on Sunday against USF. Hits them both.
Pow 0 of 3 from the charity stripe before those 2 makes right there.
Well, now she's 2 for 5.
Yep.
Such a good shooter, doesn't get fouled off. And Bailey for the Bucks. She's checked by Pow. 10 seconds for Muhammad. Pow with the steal. She intercepts the pass. Finds Kitts up ahead. Chloe Kitts. He's double teamed. Again, fights through 2 Buccaneers. Offensive rebound for Fagan, and she's fouled.
We'll see Cess and Sanaya Fagan both take advantage of that mismatch down low. They just a little bit taller, a little bit lengthier, able to find position, seal off defenders. Great attempt by Cess, but Fagan with the cleanup.
So the foul is on Adamson, her first. Fagan from the line where she's a 78% free throw shooter. As we mentioned in the open, coming off a season high 14 points against USF. Amanda talked about her efficiency, 7 for 10 from the field in that game. And her numbers are up each year. Most of her action coming off the bench the last few seasons, but starting this season, Amanda, she's certainly looked the part.
Right, she's played multiple different roles throughout her years here, being a backup, being a bench spark, and now she's starting and stepping up into that producing role.
Shot no good for Adamson, and a rebound for Bree Hall. The Gamecocks lead 6-2. Fagan in the post. A rebound for Tiana Bailey, sophomore guard out of Newark, New Jersey. This is Nettles, dual sport athlete at CSU. Nichols runs out of room. CSU will reset. Five seconds for Bailey. Scoops one off the glass. Shot no good. Another whistle that will go against the Buccaneers. All right, just a look at Dawn Staley in her 17th season. Let's see what she's done. 7-time SEC Coach of the Year, a 3-time national champion. Amanda looking for a 4th this season.
And this group, such a different group than she's ever had before. She talks about it so much last year and this year, just younger, funnier players, more lighthearted players, a daycare that she calls it as well. So she's learning as she goes too, even though all these years of her coaching, she's got different teams, different players to work with.
Our Gamecocks have ranked in the AP Top 25 every week since December 10th, 2012. It's an outrageous stat. Consistently great. Adamson against Fagan. Off the mark. And now it's Fagan up ahead for South Carolina. Nice move, can't convert. Gamecocks will have another opportunity. It's Pow Pow, in and out. And a whistle that will go against South Carolina. It brings us to immediate timeout with 4:39 left to go in the first. South Carolina leads Charleston Southern 6-2.
Temple pretty consistently, and now that's not the case anymore.
Coach Staley certainly changed the culture at Temple and has done so here at South Carolina. Off the glass and in for Kashanti Nichols, a senior forward out of Pearl, Mississippi, averaging 7.4 points per game.
She's someone that comes off the bench, and there's a shift in the vibe on the court, according to Coach White.
And despite coming off the bench, man, she's their 3rd leading scorer. So, to your point, she brings that production. Edwards is fouled. Joyce Edwards, the star freshman out of Camden, South Carolina. She had a season high in points on Sunday as well, 15 against USF.
Yeah, I've had the chance to watch her compete in high school at Camden, compete for state championships, soccer state championships, volleyball state championships. She does it all, and we can see that athleticism translate here at the college level.
Your South Carolina Player of the Year, Gatorade National Player of the Year. Sixth game in double digits this season on Sunday with those 15 points. She had double digits in her debut. 10 points against Michigan. There's an easy bucket for Elena Nettles. Nettles had 4 points and 4 rebounds in the win against South Carolina State on Tuesday. Edwards can't hit. And a rebound for Nettles, and the Bucks look to push. This is Albin, who goes coast to coast.
Coach White told us that Albin can do a down and back in 8 seconds. She's one of the fastest players on this team, and we just saw that speed on display.
They're 2nd in the Big South in scoring at 13.5 per game. Had a team-high 15 points in only 15 minutes on Tuesday in that win against South Carolina State. Nettles and Albin in the backcourt, two outstanding athletes for the Buccaneers. This is Albin. And now Nettles. Bailey looking for a window of space. She finds it. The Bucks lead 10-8 early on here in the first quarter. Great start for Coach White and company.
Bucks getting a lot of second chance opportunities. South Carolina not doing their best job crashing the boards here.
It's knocked out of bounds. Let's take a look at a couple of the recent baskets for CSU. This is Nettles.
Just drops the shoulder, finds that lane, just beats Tessa Johnson one-on-one there. Dawn Staley can't be happy there. Great finish by Albin there.
Albin has double-digit points in 9 of 11 games this season. 2 20-point games.
Ooh.
Twice the 3. She's short. And the rebound for Pow Pow. CSU gets back defensively. Tessa Johnson for 3. Off the mark. Adamson went down, and a foul is going to be called on South Carolina.
Tessa Johnson's going to look to pick up the pace this time around. Her last time out in that game against USF, she was 0 for 3 from the field, and players always go through those ruts or go cold shooting, but Tessa can shoot the 3. It's just a matter of when.
Tessa's a 50% three-point shooter. Of course, led South Carolina with the career-high 19 points in the national title game last season against Iowa. Did so as a freshman. Muhammad, that's good.
Muhammad shooting 26% from behind the arc heading into this game and drains one a couple feet back.
Coming off a 9-point game on Tuesday at South Carolina State. Maddie McDaniel in the paint.
Dave, you know what they call her? They call her Mighty Mouse, and just because of that, she's small, but she can get in there, penetrates in the key, and able to finish. Such finesse at the rim, despite being a freshman.
Very talented freshman, Maddie McDaniel, out of Maryland. And a travel is going to be called on Madison Adamson.
Take a look at these last few buckets. This one, Muhammad, a couple feet from that three-point line, but when it's front and center like that, you're lined up. She drains that one, and this is Mighty Mouse. Maddie McDaniel, the freshman, finishing in the paint there. Beautiful finesse.
Just seems to give South Carolina a boost. Her energy, her effort, able to facilitate for her teammates and get in the paint.
And when she does get to the line, I mean, she's shooting 77% from the free throw line. So when she draws fouls like that, she's able to capitalize on those opportunities.
Known as a pass-first point guard, averaging 5.1 per game in her freshman season. You see her overall game, man, and you just know those numbers are going to continue to climb throughout her career here in Columbia.
Yeah, Dawn Staley can't say enough good things about her.
Adamson, a terrific pass to Bailey.
Great cut from Bailey, way to be active. See that backcourt, beats her one-on-one player, but awesome court vision there for the Bucks.
They lead 15-10. We approach the end of the first quarter. Bree Hall on the drive. She draws contact.
Take a look at this off-ball movement from the Bucks. Able to see the court despite the congestion in the paint there. Bailey beating Bree Hall to the bucket.
Bailey's their second leading scorer despite playing every game off the bench this season.
You know, Coach White tells us that she's got sort of an 8-woman rotation going right now, but she wants to get up to that 5 and 5 out. That 10-man rotation is what we see with South Carolina as well. When you just have a lot of bodies on the court, so your defense can apply pressure.
Rolls around the rim and does not go in for Bree Hall. She hits the second. 67% free throw shooter coming into today.
South Carolina trailing by 4 right now, largely due to just their inability to make some of these shots that they're getting, only shooting 15% right now from the field to a 13.
Albin gets help from Ellis. There's no space for Kaylin Ellis, and we'll go the other way.
You think 0.2 seconds is long enough for a half-court buzzer beater here, Dave? With this team,
tough.
maybe anything's possible.
No chance at a shot for McDaniel, and that'll close out the first quarter here in Columbia. Good one for Charleston Southern. They lead the Gamecocks 15-11. Quite a climb for the Buccaneers. And that program ladder, man, of course, degrees, leaders, champions. That's what's at the top. That's what they're hoping to accomplish.
Yeah, I like that word delusional that Cade used, and that's also what Coach White used. She said, you know, I love that my players are buying into this crazy vision.
Bree Hall for 3. Gamecocks trail by 1. Hall's been shooting so well this season, 47% from behind the arc. Highest number in her career. Under 10 for Albin. Nettles has to get it up. The floater won't go, and a rebound for Sanaya Fagan.
Awesome job by Pow Pow to hedge that screen. Able to stay with her defender.
Pow Pow for 3. There's Muhammad with the rebound for CSU. A whistle and a travel is going to be called on Catherine Albin. Another look at
Hall able to light up the floor from beyond the arc. First Gamecock to do so today. Experienced player who shows it this season.
Bria started every game this season and last after 71 games off the bench in her first 2 years. So important to this program. Arguably, I think, Amanda, the most underrated player on the roster.
She's one of those players sometimes where she's not all the way on the stat sheet all the time, but she does the anonymous things, the things that are more quiet, where she's a great on-ball defender. She's also a great vocal leader as well. She does the off-the-stat sheet things to keep this team together.
And a terrific defender. Bucks looking to add to a 1-point lead. Muhammad, checked by Fagan. 5 seconds for Albin. The fall away, not close, but a second opportunity, that won't go. That's a shot clock violation.
Bucks having to go up against Adele Tack, the 6'5" center for South Carolina. And Dawn Staley telling us this week that Adele did so well with the highlighters, their male practice squad, that they gave her the nod this week to get some more play time. That's how you prove yourself. You play well with the practice team, and you earn minutes on the court.
It's her 8th game of the season. Talk about minutes. It's been limited minutes this season for Tack. Only a couple on Sunday against USF. Take some minutes early on here in this one. Trying to get it to her in the post. Instead, they swing it around the perimeter. Daniel kicks it out to Hall. Bree Hall in the paint. In and out, but the putback is good for Sanaya Fagan.
Fagan sandwiched between 2 Bucks, but able to reach up, use her length and power, embracing that physicality to finish.
Fagan has 6. The Gamecocks have the lead, 16-15. Nichols baseline. And she's fouled by Tack.
Take a look at this paint production here from Fagan. We've talked so much about this game so far. Very efficient, able to follow through. Doesn't give up on the play if the ball's still up in the air. That foul, Adele coming down with her arms.
Nichols misses the first. She's now 7 for 10 on the season from the charity stripe. Electrifying, excuse me. Malaysia Fulwiley has checked in for South Carolina. Number 12 in white. Averaging 10.3 points per game. McDaniel, Fulwiley, Zach, Fagan, and Pow Pow. McDaniel connects.
Maddie McDaniel can not only facilitate with her amazing assists, but she can create on her own, taking that open shot, knowing she can finish.
She's got 4 points. Nichols, shot fake. Now it's Jones. Good-looking baseline jumper for Sanaya Jones, junior forward out of Tucker, Georgia. Won $2 to start every game this season. There's the lob to Fagan. The putback isn't there.
Fulwiley with an awesome lob there. She's a great facilitator as well. Fagan unable to finish though.
Albin will draw the foul on the other end. Fans not pleased here inside Colonial Life Arena. We'll take another look.
Powell gets a hand in there. South Carolina bench not too happy about that call.
Nichols gets it into Bailey. Tough shot over Pow Pow. Oh, pass is stolen by Nichols. A turnover for South Carolina. Great defensive play made by the Gamecocks.
Amazing interception by Nichols, but gets shut down by Malaysia Fulwiley on the other end. Big block. She's listed as 6 foot on the roster, but she's got hops.
Raven Johnson checks back in for South Carolina. She replaces Tina Pow Pow. Ashlyn Watkins is in as well. Join Kits, Daniel, and Fulwiley. Closer than expected. South Carolina leads Charleston Southern 19-18 here in the second quarter. Fulwiley steps back. Albin looking to push for the Bucks, finds an open Ellis.
Dave, there's a reason why they call her Ashlyn Watkins. She gets a hand in there even on the three-point shots.
And she converts on the offensive end. Defense and offense from Ashlyn Watkins.
Yeah, look at her, a big post player coming down there, running the floor, able to get back down the court to finish on offense.
She's averaging 1.7 blocks per game. Second in the SEC in blocks per game. A season ago behind her teammate Cardoso. There she is with the rebound.
Looks like Kashanti Nichols is a little injured, hobbling up the floor here.
Raven Johnson.
Nichols coming out.
Oh, we have a timeout here inside Colonial Life Arena. The rejection from Ashlyn Watkins, and then the finish on the offensive end. A nice feed from Malaysia Full.
Daniel, the 5'9", the smallest player on the court right now, able to get that block there, and then that defense igniting the offense for Raven Johnson.
And that was 5'9" against 6'4". Nettles. Daniel sets it up. Here's Kits. McDaniel kicks it out to Fulwiley. Off the mark. Another opportunity here for the Gamecocks. 10 seconds for Raven Johnson. 5 for Fulwiley. Kitts has to hurry, gets it up. Ashlyn Watkins is fouled on the putback attempt, and she'll head to the line.
The difference in this second quarter has been South Carolina's defense creating some easy buckets for them. Maddie McDaniel, Mighty Mouse with the big rejection. Leads to Raven Johnson and a nice transition bucket. The Bucks shooting only 14% in this second quarter compared to South Carolina's 50%. What a tale of two quarters.
Ashlyn Watkins is at the line looking to add to the Gamecocks lead. 57% free throw shooter. Gets the first. Coming off a nice game on Sunday against South Florida. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks. And the lead is 7. Spin move from Nettles. The floater off the glass is no good. Here's Raven Johnson the other way. Up ahead to Edwards. That was deflected by Adamson. Looks like it was off the Gamecock. No, it'll stay with South Carolina.
If you know Raven Johnson, you know she likes to move the ball, push the ball up. She only knows one speed, and that's fast. And usually she has very accurate passing. That one just a little bit too much heat on it.
If you're on the floor with Raven Johnson, you're running, and she's going to find you in stride. Fulwiley doesn't get the bounce, but there's Watkins once again with the follow-up.
Watkins is just like a garbage collector down there, just cleaning up after each of her players' misses, be able to get those putbacks. Half her rebounds have really come from those second chance opportunities.
And she's got 6 points. Albin. Raven Johnson all over Catherine Albin. Muhammad, a deep three.
We saw her make one earlier today. She can do it.
Edwards runs the floor. Her layup attempt is short. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. South Carolina leads 29-20. Nichols checked by Edwards. Now it's Bailey. Muhammad.
There it is.
Hits another one.
There it is, just a second three-pointer for the Bucks, and she made the first one.
In her second season at CSU after starting her career at the JUCO level. Watkins hands off to McDaniel. No room for McDaniel. Instead, it's Edwards inside, and one.
That one rolling the right way for Joyce Edwards as Maddie McDaniel was shaken up on the play.
McDaniel might have been hit in the eye there. Let's have a look at the three from Muhammad.
Both of her threes have been from a couple feet outside. I think that's NBA distance right there, pulling up. Maddie McDaniel's drawing that contact. She gets hit by $3 there, drawing in that. Joyce Edwards there to clean up, though. Ball rolls the right way for Edwards. Edwards, just a freshman, able to produce so much for this team already. She does lead the team in turnovers, though, as she's still trying to grow and develop her game.
With McDaniel and Edwards, outstanding freshmen. Future is certainly bright here in Columbia, as is the present. Bailey, a nice move. She cuts inside. Is bothered by Fulwiley. Elijah Fulwiley with the magic.
You don't even have words to describe her moves anymore, what she pulls out of her pocket. I know that we've talked to her before about where she gets these moves from, and she says sometimes she just looks up YouTube videos. And so we don't know where that one came from, but maybe some inspiration via YouTube.
She's just a highlight reel. Albin a deep three.
Holy cow. They're not afraid to pull up. South Carolina's going to have to meet them out there now. Defensive adjustments, we'll see.
It's keeping CSU in this game. They trail 34-26. They have 3 for 8 from behind the arc, and all 3 tough makes, Amanda. Pow Pow tries to respond for South Carolina. She's short.
This is why they call Mylasia Fulwiley a highlight reel right here, because you never know what she's going to do, but you always are looking forward to it. Great move in the air. Look at that hang time. Way outside. There's no logo there, but I'm going to say from the logo because that's what it felt like. Awesome finish from the Bucks to stay in this one.
Albin comes into today a 32% three-point shooter. Talks about her ability to fill it up. 20-point games against Mercer and North Dakota State. Here's the floater. That won't go, and that's how the first half will end. A competitive first half, Amanda, as South Carolina leads Charleston Southern 34-20. That last loss in 2020 against NC State. We're underway here in the second half. Raven Johnson looks to push, gets it up ahead to Pow Pow. Her pass is picked off by Catherine Albin.
Right idea, but the Bucks were there. Anticipation. Great job, Charleston Southern.
Adamson. Now it's Nettles. And a tie-up and a jump ball called. South Carolina has the possession arrow.
Dawn Staley changing the starting lineup for the third quarter. Difference for the starting of the game. Ashton Watkins starting in the second half here instead of Chloe Kitts.
And talking about what she wanted to see today from her team, she said, I want to see our standard. We've been harping on playing to our standard, disciplined basketball, building to what works. Just wanting to play good basketball heading into conference play. Hoping to find that in the second half. That shot no good, and a rebound for Albin. CSU, Amanda, only had a day to prepare for this game. They played Tuesday night at South Carolina State, picked up the road win. Here they are battling with the second-ranked Gamecocks.
Yeah, they don't shy away from competition. They played a couple ranked opponents, SEC powerhouses, ACC powerhouses. They had UNC and LSU. They faced a gauntlet of a schedule so far.
We'll go the other way here.
Looks like a travel call, a little too many steps there for Jones.
Nia Jones, who has a couple of fouls at 6'4", a really important player for CSU. Coach White told us has to stay on the floor. She fouled out in those tough power conference games you mentioned a moment ago. Especially
for a game like today, where Jones is a big force down there that can match up with the Gamecocks. You can see South Carolina picking up right at that half court. They're on these shooters. They don't want any more of those deep threes in the second half.
It's an 8-point lead for the Gamecocks. Albin on the drive. She's denied by Raven Johnson.
South Carolina with 5 blocks so far today, and they've come from a multitude of different players. Raven Johnson here with this one, but Mylasia Fulwiley's picked up one. Ashton Watkins, we know she's going to have one about every game, and also Maddie McDaniel with one.
Raven's such a good defensive player. 17 steals in the NCAA tournament last season. The putback for Catherine Albin.
Albin with better position than Raven Johnson on that one for the rebound.
South Carolina lead is 6. Ten seconds for Pow Pow. She's checked by Nettles. Goes around the Watkins screen. Now it's Bree Hall from the wing. Johnson keeps it alive. They get inside to Fagan, who feeds Watkins.
That was so beautiful. The ball movement, that extra pass makes all the difference. South Carolina able to stay patient there for 2.
All their bigs, Watkins, Fagan, such excellent passers. Inside, it's Sanaya Jones.
Jones putting it up and in over 2 defenders.
Jones, who leads the Bucks in field goal percentage, also rebounds, blocks this season. Didn't score on Tuesday, only took 1 shot at South Carolina State. And there's a steal for Albin. She motors up the floor.
Charleston Southern needing to take advantage of every one of those opportunities to stay in this one as they bring it within 4.
Incredibly fast. Coach White says the court is often too small for her. And with the ball, it's even smaller. They had to navigate her coming from high school where she could kind of just do whatever she wanted and get up the court faster than anybody. Now teaching her college game speed. It's not always one speed. There's Bree Hall from the corner.
Bree already hit one earlier in that first half, but she takes 1 dribble, takes a breath, drains it.
And a travel called on Albin for some of that ball movement from the Gamecocks.
Just amazing patience, getting that second chance opportunity to start with the rebound, and then in the paint, wide open backside, no help side defense there from Charleston Southern, but great anticipation from Catherine Albin.
Such a multi-dimensional scorer, can finish at the rim. Our defense has started to improve as well. And that's going to go against the Gamecocks.
Watkins trying to create some space, lifts that elbow up, they'll call that. Taking another look. Watkins doesn't shy away from physicality down there. You can, being a post player, but they'll call that.
First foul on Ashlyn Watkins. Albin, checked by Raven Johnson. Nichols tried to feed Bailey. Shot clock will expire on CSU. Seen that happen a couple of times already today. South Carolina's defense did stifling, Amanda.
That's what they want. They want to force Charleston Southern into some uncomfortable situations where they're going to just throw the ball away, force some turnovers. The Bucks with 11 turnovers so far tonight. Carolina with 7.
South Carolina is only allowing, I should say, 59.7 points per game to opponents this season. Opponents are only shooting 36%. McDaniel for 3. Offensive rebound for Watkins. The putback is in and out. Adamson.
You like that shot, wide open, just in and out.
Fagan, smooth baseline jumper.
We talked about her efficiency ahead of this ball game, and that's it right there. And it's not all from in the paint. She takes those long-range jump shots as well. Her shot's just so flawless.
She has 8 points. That's a team high, tied with Ashlyn Watkins. Ten seconds for Nettles. An open look for Bailey. And a rebound for Tahina Paopao. They get it inside to Fagan, kicks it right back out to Paopao.
That is textbook in and out play right there. Pass it into Fagan. Fagan doesn't even take a look at the bucket. Sees Paopao wide open and knows that's the shot. Her first 3 of the day.
46% three-point shooter. Led the nation three-point percentage a season ago at 46.8.
But it can also be a challenge, and that's a balance that Gamecocks head coach Dawn Staley has had to find this season. While the Gamecocks have 10 different players averaging at least 15 minutes per game, Staley said that depending on who has the hot hand, what earns you more minutes one night may not be the same in the next game. And that's a concept that some players will struggle with at times throughout the season. Earlier this year, Chloe Kitts saw her minutes decrease around Thanksgiving, and this led to her believing that Coach Staley had lost faith in her as a player. When the reality of it was that Kitts and her fellow starters for the Gamecocks were doing such a great job of building up strong leads in games that Coach Staley was working in younger players to get them valuable minutes that'll help add to this team's depth as the season goes on. Not to mention that, of course, every player wants to be on the court as much as they can, but Staley said if someone has got it going on, more times than not, they're going to play until, well, as she put it, until the cows come home. Guys?
Thanks, Cade. It's a talented bench, of course, for South Carolina. The bench leads the nation with 39.7 points per game. Counts for over 49% of their total offense. But Amanda, sometimes these players, they might not understand the lack of minutes. It has to be explained to them that it's not necessarily because you're playing bad. Even the starters that are sharing minutes with the bench, it's because, sometimes someone is just playing well, and that leads to less minutes for others.
Yeah, Coach talking about how she had a conversation with Bree Hall about it, too, where Bree was kind of doing 15 minutes, but it's a lean 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes where you're putting up good points, putting up good numbers, moving the score forward. So not a terrible problem to have when you have so many great players.
Edwards draws contact, and she'll head to the line. But before she does, we have immediate timeout with 2:44 left to go in the third. South Carolina leads Charleston Southern 44-32. Maddie McDaniel averages 5 points and 3 assists so far this season. Today so far, Amanda, she has 5 points and 3 assists, and here they are.
Yeah, her vision on the court is exceptional, and also just her passing abilities, right on target, right on cue, even in motion like that. She can go 100 miles per hour but still stop, give an accurate pass there, finding her shooters, giving other players opportunities. That's what makes a great point guard.
And she leads the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio. She has 27 assists to just 4 turnovers coming into today. That's an absurd 6.75-to-1 ratio. Next best is Kayla Ivey at Boston College, 4.5-to-1. So it's a significant margin between first and second.
And to have that level of efficiency as a freshman coming into your first year in the SEC, head coach Dawn Staley gives her all the praise and really is excited about her difference from Raven Johnson, having 2 different types of point guards that can come in there and mix things up.
We saw Spencer on that list as well for Tennessee. The Gamecocks will be at Tennessee January 27th. They'll be on ESPN2, and they'll get a good look at Spencer.
The SEC looking pretty scary this season. Super exciting, though.
So deep, both for the men and the women. Muhammad kicks it out. Speedy Albin gets inside. And what a finish. She's fired up.
Great ball movement, awareness of her body as she kind of warps around the defenders.
Albin's in double digits once again. She has 11. There she is with the steal. Catherine Albin will head to the line.
Coach White saying great things about Albin as well, saying that, we talked about her speed a lot, and you could see her speed on display here, able to anticipate that pass transition and put up that layup there. Beautiful finesse. Taking another look. Little pump fake, drive. Once she drops that shoulder, she's gone. Hard to keep up with her. Coach says that the game has really slowed down for her, yet she's so speedy, but the game has slowed down for her. She's able to make smarter decisions.
Well, she's someone who wants to play pro, treats every day like she's a pro. Ton of extra shots up, takes care of her body. They've got a 3.5 this semester, and Coach White is extremely proud of Catherine Albin. It's a 10-point game. 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Pow. Now McDaniel on the drive. Up and under. She draws the foul.
Taking the ball around the world before it tries to find the rim there, but she'll draw the foul and head to the line. South Carolina doing a great job of getting to the free throw line by doing this. Not afraid of contact there. You can see it on her face, though, trying to navigate the paint. South Carolina now with 12 free throws for points today. See if Maddie McDaniel can add on a couple more.
12 for 13 from the line. McDaniel, a little bit of a late start to the season, made her debut against Coppin State. She had surgery to remove scar tissue in her knee in early October. This is the number 12 overall recruit in the class of 2024. It's the second. As you mentioned earlier, Amanda, just a little bit of a different look from Raven Johnson, but it's great for Coach Daly to have that versatility in her point guard play. Edwards fighting for the ball. She comes up with it. And it's Pow Pow the other way for South Carolina. Tina Pow Pow and one.
Pow Pow has been pretty silent this game. No big drain threes besides that one, but she's been doing things defensively that keeps her on this court. Dawn Staley loving it. She pushes the ball forward. 1-on-2, no problem. Stays composed, finishes at the rim.
Finishes the three-point play. Preseason first team all SEC selection. Second team last year. An all conference selection every season in her career that started at West at Oregon. Nettles comes up limping a bit. Ahead of the pack, it's Johnson.
Johnson with her first points of the day, her first points in a couple days as she was scoreless against USF. Scoreless from the field, I should say.
Watkins defensively for South Carolina. Watkins feeds Edwards. Edwards, another opportunity.
Joyce Edwards, such a motivated player. You can tell she wants it. She wants to develop. She wants to get better. And there she is following her own shot for the putback.
Largest lead for the Gamecocks, 54-36. Adamson unable to hit the three, and that's how the third quarter will end. A solid third quarter for South Carolina. There's room up there for 2025, Amanda, and here's the Dawn Staley effect.
Just a little imbalance there, just a little difference when she came and took over this program, and it wasn't immediately. It did take some building, and Coach for Charleston Southern, Coach White, saying that she did look at Dawn Staley's first couple of seasons to see how quickly, she's like, hey, I want to compare myself a little bit. How quickly does Dawn Staley get things going? And it did take her a couple years, because the SEC is no cakewalk, but here's what she's been able to do with the so-called dynasty, a lot of the Gamecock fans like to call it.
Yeah, Coach White really looks up to Dawn Staley. Told us that she's phenomenal. Love how she utilizes her platform. She said, I admire her, I look up to her. The way she's navigated the program and built it. And it's amazing to see the influx of players that want to be around Coach Staley. Her expertise, her energy, her wisdom. And Coach White said she just empowers people and inspires them. It's so awesome, and we get to be just down the road from it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's also cool, Coach White has a podcast. She created a podcast as a way to use her platform as well. So coaches being able to find things to do off the court as well.
A steady increase in wins here at South Carolina. Coach White is going to do the same. Charleston Southern. Good-looking basket from Kaylin Ellis, redshirt sophomore guard out of Powder Springs, Georgia. Her offense has been coming on of late. Played the first 4 games of the season, didn't score, missed the next 5 games. She returns early December against College of Charleston with 6 points, started and 10 points against Furman, and then season high 12 on Tuesday against South Carolina State.
Yeah, that was her first career start against Furman, then had that game high for the team. And she was supposed to be a part of the rotation last season, but had a shoulder injury, so they weren't able to do what they wanted to do, as Mylasia Fulwiley puts in 2.
And she's got 4. Hey, look at the way Charleston Southern has played today. You can see why they're preseason in the top 3 of the Big South Conference. Home run pass, trying to get it to Fulwiley. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with South Carolina.
No doubt the South Carolina team likes to push the ball, but we've seen a couple of those long passes a little too deep coming from the freshman Joyce Edwards.
Johnson for 3. Gets her own rebound. Edwards inside, one-on-one, converts.
She had a team high last time out against USF, and here she is putting work down there in the paint. She gets great position, great physicality from the freshman.
And she has a team high again so far today. She has 11. And a steal for Raven Johnson. And finish off the glass. Ellis the other way for CSU.
Gets another chance here.
And the layup for Raven Johnson.
This time a little jump stop. Collect her thoughts. She's shaking her head, smiling.
2-time Miss Georgia basketball. Second team All SEC selection a year ago, Raven Johnson. Nichols. Muhammad was denied by Watkins. And a whistle that'll go against CSU.
Watkins picks up her 3rd block of the day. She's been just suffocating people down here in the paint. Too many white jerseys for the Bucks here, and Ashlyn Watkins with that wingspan. All ball there.
Think about how good an athlete Ashlyn Watkins is, the first South Carolina player to dunk. That was in her freshman year against Clemson. First to dunk at CLA last January against Kentucky, and then just dunked again against TCU recently.
Just an incredible way to really just set a new standard for the women's game as it continues to grow. More eyeballs around the game. People are realizing, hey, these women can play an elite kind of basketball, and Ashlyn Watkins helping to embrace that.
Edwards with the steal for South Carolina. Fulwiley finds Johnson. That was short. Oh, too close to the rim there.
Fulwiley frustrated too, knowing that she wanted to give her teammate an opportunity to score. South Carolina had a season high in their layup percentage last time out against USF, and those easy bunnies make all the difference when it's a close game.
5 seconds for Muhammad. No space from Johnson, so instead it's Adamson. And a shot clock violation. Bailey exits for CSU. Gamecocks lead 62-38. But Wiley makes her move. Jones corrals it for the Bucks. This is Albin. Well, we have a timeout on the floor with 5:50
for the holidays here.
It's a very connected group. They all like each other, like spending time with each other. Coach Staley mentioned, she sits back and watches that, loves the dynamic, then opening up to each other. It's a coach's dream.
And it's different for her because, you know, each team brings different challenges, and she's said she's been really adjusting to how fun they are and how energetic they are and how loose they play. Because when she had the freshies a couple years ago, they were really locked in on the mission. But these players, they love basketball and they love to win, but they also love to have fun.
Edwards, double team, she kicks it out. Johnson for three. Got it.
That's been a big storyline for Raven Johnson, getting respected behind the arc there, and there she goes, earning that respect. See a defender step up on her now for the rest of this game.
Her first three of the day. She has 9 points. Ellis gives it a try. Shot no good, and a rebound for Ashlyn Watkins. For Wiley. Tough shot, draws contact, and she'll head to the line.
Now Johnson's really stepped up her game in the last 3 outings as well, averaging 6.3 points and 46.7% shooting, handing out a little over 4 assists per game. And prior to the last 3 games, it was just 3.5 points per game on 21.6% shooting. So she stepped up in almost every aspect of her game the last couple times out.
For Wiley, it's the first. Now, you're right, Amanda, about Raven. Her first 5 games this season, she was 0 for 13 from 3. But in the last 6 games, 9 for 21 coming into today. So really heating up. Joyce Edwards continues to assert herself.
Joyce Edwards will always be where you see those hustle plays, those free balls, those loose balls.
In the corner, that's Ellis. A rebound for Raven Johnson, who looks to push. Johnson feeds Edwards at 1.
The bench going crazy for the freshman Joyce Edwards with another team high, 15 points right now. In her 17 minutes of play, 5 of 8 from the field. She's been everywhere on this court. Defense, offense, running up and down the floor, and she's a post player. She's a big. She's athletic, though. Make that 17 points. Make that 18 points. One of the biggest storylines headed into this season was the loss of Camila Cardoso to the WNBA draft and what post players they're going to look towards. And they're learning that it's going to be by committee, and Joyce Edwards is a part of that committee.
Another opportunity up ahead for Tessa Johnson.
South Carolina with 23 fast break points in this ball game. Those have been the game changers so far.
They lead 73-38. It was a close game in the first half. That foul's going to go against Ashlyn Watkins. Free throws coming for Madison Adamson.
Watkins picks up her second foul.
Maddie McDaniel checks back in. She replaces Raven Johnson, who gets a nice hand from the crowd here inside CLA. Madison Adamson to the free throw line. The first player that Coach White brought into the program. Coach and Maddie go way back. She recruited her sister while at Alabama. Maddie was at Air Force Prep Academy. Through circumstances, she was open to recruitment again. Coach White said, oh my gosh, I have the opportunity to get her. She's such a great player, gifted, intrinsic leader. They lean into her as a person. Does a lot of those little things that don't show up on the stat sheet.
Well, that's why she's a captain. She's a vocal leader as well as a leader by her actions.
And she's been here through this entire rebuild for CSU. Joyce Edwards will head to the line. Muhammad checks out. Nichols back in for the Bucks. Joyce Edwards is already past her season high, looking for her first collegiate 20-point game. She hits the second free throw. She does so.
And when you talk to her post-game with other players, she just gives credit to everybody and saying that I just really put my trust into my teammates, and that's exactly what we're seeing here is a group effect of her getting opportunities from her teammates because they believe in her to score.
Donald's All-American, played for the USA basketball women's under-18 national team. Almost the and one for Catherine Albin, but she'll head to the line for two. You picked the right player to watch, Amanda, for Charleston Southern. Catherine Albin with 13 points. No other Buck in double digits.
We talked about her consistent growth over the past couple of years. You know, the conference really recognizing her as a freshman, and then her on that second team Big South in her sophomore season, and now this year she's preseason first team All Big South. They expect her to do some great things in conference play.
She spoils Chick-fil-A here inside CLA. Add that to the stat sheet. Gamecocks lead 75-42 as we approach 3 minutes remaining.
Charleston Southern trying to snap a over 6-minute scoring drought right now.
Deflected out of bounds by Tessa Johnson. Coach White still love what she saw from her team, especially in this first half today. Showing the ability to compete with the #2 team in the country, and that should certainly bode well for play. A deep three from Ellis. Offensive rebound for Nichols. Here's Adamson.
Yeah, and Coach White talked about, you know, they don't shy away from competition, playing those big teams like UNC here. Tessa Johnson with the lay-in. But they don't shy away from big games like that. LSU, UNC, she said, because it's a one big lead. So if they go to the tournament, they're going to face a team of that caliber, and they want to be ready for that.
This game will certainly help them do just that. An offensive foul on Catherine Albin. First 20-point performance in the college career of Joyce Edwards, Amanda.
This is no surprise. We slowly see her getting a feel for that SEC play, that collegiate play coming from Camden High School, a local product. Able to just do damage in the paint, running up and down the floor. For Wiley, nothing but net there.
The lead has ballooned to 35. Wiley will pick up the foul. I believe that's just her first. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for South Carolina. After Christmas break, they'll have one more non-conference matchup with the Wofford Terriers, and then Amanda, SEC play begins.
Yeah, they open it up on the road, back-to-back road games for SEC play. And the biggest thing Dawn Staley wanted to prioritize for today and heading into the holiday break is to be able to build on each game so that they're ready for SEC play.
Adamson hits the tough shot.
Adamson with 9 so far today. Oh, wow.
Daniel feeds Fagan. Oh, pretty pass from Maddie McDaniel.
We talked about her ability to facilitate in this offense, and you just have to be ready, always ready if she has the ball, and Miriam Dauda ready for that.
I'll check that. My apologies. It was Dauda, not Fagan. 30, not 20. Ellis keeps it in play. Adamson for 3. She runs into traffic. Tied up. That'll be South Carolina basketball.
South Carolina flexing its depth today. 49 bench points compared to Charleston Southern's 11. That bench is deep and talented. Ooh, she can hit those. She can hit those.
Rebound for Adamson on the full Wiley miss. Up ahead finds Nichols, tough angle. And a foul that will go against CSU, and Taylor Caldwell picks up her first. We'll put Tessa Johnson at the line. First free throw attempt of the day. 80% so far this season. This is the first. Minnesota Gatorade Player of the Year back in 2023. 2,000-point scorer in high school.
The future is bright, no doubt, here at South Carolina.
Nichols loses it out of bounds. South Carolina will be able to dribble out the clock here. It will go in the books as an 82-46 win for the Gamecocks, to improve to 12-1 overall. Charleston Southern picks up their 9th loss of the season and 64 straight wins now at home, Amanda, for South Carolina.
Great job by South Carolina to really settle in. That first quarter, they shot 14%, and they finished the game shooting 46%. Big showing by the bench. They had 50 points tonight. Just insane depth from single person for them when it comes to SEC play. As we talked about, no Camila Cardoso. They're going to need big post players to rely on, and the freshman proving herself early in her first year.
Joyce Edwards leads.
I like that. Does that light up? Does that light up?
It doesn't light up now.
Okay. I had one that lit up.
Donna, Joyce was talking just about the halftime speech and maybe just wrote a question mark. Did you say anything to him otherwise?
Well, I mean, I said a lot, but I mean, I'm not gonna blow my top. I understand where they are and this type of game. I mean, I'm not making excuses for them. But when you know, you know. You just try to fight and get them back to a good place. And I mean, the question mark is, it's just they leave you with a lot of questions. They force us to question, you know, their ability to lock in and be disciplined. They force us, you know, to have questions about, you know, who should play, who shouldn't play, who should, you know, all of these things. And it's just teaching. It's just teaching moments in which I don't know if it goes in one ear, up and out the other, or if you got to say it another time in another place for it to really resonate with what we need as a team.
Joyce with another career high today, 20 points, 6 for 9 from the floor, 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Just what have you seen from her these past couple games that's really clicking?
I mean, Joyce wants to be great. So I think the stats are starting to become what greatness looks like. And, you know, hopefully they'll stay consistent like this. But if they don't, it's still her process of everything is new to her. Like, this whole season is going to be new. There are going to be things that are thrown at her that, you know, sometimes she'll handle well and sometimes she won't. That's the process of your journey. And fortunately for us, she's figuring out what's going on offensively. She doesn't, you know, she's not afraid of scoring. She's not afraid of shooting. I think defensively is where she'll make the most improvement because there are so many different looks. People play big, people play small, people are equally as strong and fast as she is. So she's got to figure out how to keep people in front of her, how to gauge closeouts, all of those things. So I'm just proud that she's able to give us a lift when we needed a lift offensively.
So I'm just having Pete with this last official question at the AP.
He's gonna be around. He'll be around. We're not gonna close the door on Pete right now.
I'm sticking with Joyce. You're talking about players who are saying, "Hey, I need more minutes. Is she making that bid now by showing that she's, learning and advancing and growing step by step?"
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no question. Joyce is gonna play for us. There's no question. So no, she's not one that complains. I think we do a really good job at explaining to our players in real time, and we don't give them time to go back and think about, what we meant by this or that. Real time, we are handling situations so they can deal with them in real time. Because when you don't, they go back, they hear other people say what should be happening and less on what we're saying. So we just get it out and we move on. And we don't have, we have short memories when it comes to it. We hit it and we move on. This is what Champ does at home. Like, he's got all the toys in the world and he loves just bottles. Just bottles. Which with TREATs in them. You can't say it without having one.
You mentioned some of the lack of focus, some of the questions. From a basketball sense, what was that looking like in the first half? Was it the turnovers? Was it some of the missed layups? What were you actually just seeing from more of just the basketball side of that?
Just that, it's sometimes it's a focus thing. Sometimes it's just, sometimes it's you don't want to play the way that probably your coaches think you're going to play, and it's an adverse effect. So it was an adverse effect. Like, that is not shooting 14%. That is, even on our worst day, we don't really shoot 14%. Give us in the 20s. That's one or two extra layups that we missed. And it's just settling in. I mean, Charleston Southern was a good team that challenged us. They challenged us to keep them in front of us. They challenged us to guard the three, outside the three. They challenged us when they got ahead of the possession and we had to scramble out, and they were finding the right matchup. And then they challenged us to box them out, and we didn't do a really good job throughout the games, especially in the first half.
Two questions, Dawn. One on that note, there seemed to be a lot of full court transition pass attempts that didn't really get completed today. Did you think your team was just trying to be over aggressive, or what do you make of those attempts?
No, I mean, I think they saw where they could take advantage of things, and I mean, I wouldn't take any of those passes away. Like, I wouldn't even say don't do that again. I mean, those were good, aggressive passes ahead, and that's what we've been working on, is to pass the ball ahead, get our bigs rim running, get our guards out sprinting, and when they're open, you got to at least try it so you could teach from those moments. I mean, I wouldn't have bet that Tessa and Raven would have smoked two wide open layups. I wouldn't bet against that.
And then not the midway point, but a major break point in the season. Is this where you'd want and thought the team would be at this point?
I really had not thought ahead. I'm just in the moment, just handling things in the moment. And I feel like when we're just staying in the moment, we're a much better basketball team than, saying that at the break, we want to be 12-0 or 11-0. Like, I didn't do that last year either. I just took every game as it came, because you never know who you're going to get. Like, you never know what team you're going to get. If you get the team that is focused and ready to go, I mean, you feel a lot of comfort in that. If you get our first quarter team, it makes you wonder. So I'm happy that we got over a really hard non-conference season with two non-conference games left to play, and looking forward to our conference, because it is, we play Wofford after the break, but looking forward to our conference because it's going to be another challenging opportunity for us to get better.
kind of going back to the Joyce thing, kind of how have you seen her grow throughout the season, and what do you project she in like plays when SEC play comes around after the break?
I just think her trajectory is going in the right direction. I do think there is, areas in which she has to improve in, especially defensively. And then offensively, I like her aggressive. I like her being aggressive on the block. I like her attacking off the bounce. I like her mid-range. And I would like for her, if not this year, definitely over the summer, to increase her range to shoot a little bit more threes. Like we're watching film and we're pointing out opportunities where she can stretch the floor a lot more. She's just not used to it right now, but we'll put her in some actions where we can pick and pop her and she shoots some threes. We need to have that in our arsenal, and she's probably other than Miriam, the best person that is more comfortable shooting threes out there.
It's the holiday break now. What's at the top of your Christmas wish list this year?
The top? Like right now, when I leave this arena, I have nothing to do. Like nothing. Like I got 24 miles to empty in my vehicle. I get to go to a gas station, like pump gas and do nothing. I actually got to shop though too, so I won't be able to do that until Sunday, Monday, and half of Tuesday, because I got to go recruiting tomorrow. Yay me. Like, thank you, everyone. Thank y'all. Merry Christmas, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Straight games where you've set a career high. Is it kind of a bad time for you to be taking a 10-day break right now?
No, we don't got 10 days. We got 6. But I mean, the more you play, the more experience you get, the better you're going to be. Obviously, some of the teams we play are more of a challenge mentally rather than physically. So it's just coming in more focused.
Joyce, I guess you just mentioned focus there. First half, into the third quarter, some turnovers, some sloppy play. Do you feel like maybe there was a little bit of a lack of focus from you guys earlier today?
Yeah, of course. I feel like all of our minds was really on the breaks, to be honest. But we understood when we came out at halftime that we had to lock in. The game shouldn't have been that close, and we came out the second half and performed.
Kind of for both of you, Joyce first, obviously just bouncing off of that, you set career highs in back-to-back games. Kind of, do you feel like you're in the rhythm, and how can you keep that going? And for you, Maddie, kind of, how have you seen her grow over the season?
Yeah, I would say rhythm was a good word for it. I mean, like I said earlier, the more you play, the more experience you get, the better off you're going to be. So, yeah, just coming in focused, knowing what I have to do, and just performing.
I honestly feel like it's just been a steady pace of her going up the whole time she's been here. Like, over the summer, she came a little late, and it wouldn't have felt like she missed 3 weeks at all, like, from being at USA. So, constantly, she just, every day, same thing, just keep moving forward.
In the back to Matt.
For both of you guys, you're almost through the non-conference of your freshman season. Through these first 12 games, what's been your biggest takeaway just from your freshman experience so far?
Go ahead.
I would say just the physicality of the game. Obviously, I feel like I put it on a high level in high school in a lot of stages, including like USA and AAU. So the speed wasn't necessarily a problem, but physicality was definitely there. I mean, I am going against like grown women, so it was to be expected. But I feel like I'm growing and bouncing back.
Yeah, like Joyce said, it's just to be expected. Like, of course, you're just moving up. And then, like, coming from high school, of course, we played, like she said, USA, being in camps and always playing against other top freshmen that we see, like, on the internet and stuff. You just come into the game, you just have to think that you're playing against people that are way stronger, way faster. You just got to always keep that in your mind.
Maddie, it seems like any time that the team is maybe playing slow or a little distracted or whatever it is, coach puts you in as that spark plug. Yeah. Do you take pride in being that sort of energy lift off the bench?
I mean, yeah, I just want to do anything for my team to win. Like, if that's what I'm looked at as, then that's fine with me, to be honest.
For both of you, Joyce and Maddie, what was Coach's halftime message to you guys to just lock in and get focused? Was that the message?
She walked in and she put a question mark on the board. we was all thinking what we were doing. I mean, before she walked in, we were all thinking about what are we doing wrong. We were reflecting on the game in the first half. We just knew that she understood that some games were going to be like that. We were going to start slow, but we understood that we have to finish the game like we should have started it.
Yeah, like I said, she's a player's coach, so she understands like where we're coming from. Like we're one day away from break, and then we're playing against a team that's like not as up there as we are, like skill wise. So it's like she knows that we have to put it on ourselves and not look at the competition.
For Maddie, you had a big-time block in the first half that got your teammates hyped. First of all, what was your reaction to that, and how many blocks have you had in your life?
Probably just like 2. That's probably my second one, honestly. All I was thinking was don't give up the layup. That's all I was thinking, honestly. I wasn't even thinking that I was going to block it, but once I got it, I was like, yes.
She got up there,
yes,
y'all.
yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.